LinkedIn video superstar Judi Fox reveals how she gained more than 3 million views in under a year. Next on Brand On Broadcasting. We have one of the featured speakers coming up right now. She's also a star of LinkedIn. She's exploded on the scene with LinkedIn videos, 3 million plus views in 2018. She just got LinkedIn Live recently, and Fox rocks. She's doing it all. Welcome, Judi Fox.
Thank you for having me here. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's so great to chat with you. Tell us how you got started on LinkedIn video and how you were able to go from getting started to one of the, really most popular users on the platform.
Yeah. So again, there is no overnight success with anybody. There's so much behind the scenes. And I like to tell people I'm Gen X meets millennial energy, because a lot of people think I'm super young, but I have 20 years of corporate business experience behind me. And LinkedIn video, not only LinkedIn Live is so recent, but LinkedIn video is pretty infant in all the video on the platform type of content, and it's only been available to natively upload to LinkedIn video since September 2017. So I got on March of 2018 and hit it out of the park with my first video, and just it's community on there. It definitely is, number one. And then number two, the behind the scenes is I actually filmed video for 4 years that has never seen the light of day. And I filmed video almost every single day. I filmed it for no reason other than to document personally me and my family's life, thinking I wasn't out to be a vlogger or it was just from wow, I like having videos and thinking about my child growing up and being able to look back on these videos. It was very appealing to me. So I went all in on video. And it turns out that made it super easy when 4 years later, I decided to point the camera. I was comfortable. It just seemed like second nature.
So what else? I came from a radio background. So the camera was new to me when I started live streaming. The microphone was not. What did you learn in doing all those videos about shooting video, or about what works on video that you were able to put into those YouTube videos when you started? I mean, those LinkedIn videos, which you may also share on YouTube, but those LinkedIn videos.
Yeah, I am looking at uploading my entire LinkedIn document journey. I'm looking at uploading all of those onto YouTube because it would be a great playlist. It would just make sense to kind of flow through. And that way I could reference them and start to make videos talking about, this is why this one did well. And I can show you ones that did terrible, and I can tell you why they did terrible. And I think that's the beauty of being a creator. You have to push the envelope. You don't know, and you have to experiment. You never know what is going to happen on video and what's going to perform well and how the audience is always going to react. You can guess, but you don't totally know until you just do it.
That's true. That is absolutely true. I think that's true for almost everything. With social media, it's trial and error. The textbooks haven't really been written yet that say and by the time they are, the platforms will change the rules anyway, right?
Well, and my background is very science oriented and engineering. I have an engineering degree, so I do think somewhat. I like to take gray and make it black and white. If I can force something to be a little, here's the path, but I understand it's more nuanced than that. It's just, I do create in my head patterns and formulas, and there's just things that I see that I can repeat. And I'm a very visual person. So I think that's why video, being able to watch video and see why it's performing well, or see what could be different and why it should be different. So on LinkedIn, the reason it's different than like YouTube, and I'll just stick between those two ones right now, is that a lot of YouTube videos will open with qualifying who you are, because it's not a platform that's built to highlight you as a professional and your and all of your information isn't totally right in front of somebody. Somebody's just watching your video and they have to click to see more to see if they want to read what you've written underneath your video. Whereas with LinkedIn, it is front and center what you've written. There is a see more button that you have to click. But the main thing with LinkedIn is they can see my title. They can see a little bit of like social evidence of who I am. And when they go, they're more likely to click over to my profile on LinkedIn and they can read all about me. And it's that part that generates, I think, so much more a different style of video on LinkedIn, because you don't have to introduce yourself. You just get into the value. You're talking to VP, CEOs, top performing sales, you're talking to people that are movers and shakers and busy. Get to the point.
Right.
And I just didn't get to the point there.
Right. You sort of, because your resume essentially is sitting right there, you don't have to establish your authority or brag about yourself. Put a good profile together and then let that speak for itself. But I think that's a tremendous tip in how to differentiate what could be a really effective video on LinkedIn from YouTube. When I mean, like a lot of us, you're on a whole bunch of different social platforms. So when you said, okay, I'm going to focus on LinkedIn video, or that's going to be my thing, was that because you saw a new opportunity and said, I'm going to go after that? Or was there another reason why you just, decided to focus on LinkedIn over other platforms?
So I had been on LinkedIn for a very long time, and it's a platform that I had enjoyed and used very, very well since about early 2000s. So I think LinkedIn first started in 2002, 2003. And I know for a fact, I know when I hit my 500 plus, and it seemed like this perfect, I have 500 connections on LinkedIn, and I was super excited. I even put a little I celebrated. And I mean, but that's awesome. In my head, I think it was 2005, 2006, 2007, somewhere in there. And I just, again, it's always gotten me opportunities. It's always gotten me jobs. It's always gotten me something. There's something I've learned by being on LinkedIn for all these years. So I say very publicly that I went through a really tough time in 2014, and I actually took myself off of all social media. I had no Instagram. I had no activity on Facebook, no activity on Twitter. I just left it like a ghost town. Just left. Because I went through a personal, something that is very if you have a death in the family, if you have anything happen in your life, sometimes social media isn't the place you want to be at that moment. And so what I did was, during that time, that's why I filmed a video that I wasn't trying to go anywhere with it. I just wanted to document our lives. And then the second thing was, LinkedIn and Pinterest were the only two platforms I didn't go dormant. I stayed active on both of those platforms. And so when I looked at, okay, I want to get active again on social media, March of 2018, I said, I will get active on LinkedIn and be active again on Pinterest and keep those two going that I had already kept going. So it did, that advice to niche down to a platform, it happened to me. And I am living proof of what happens when you don't get active everywhere. And I didn't even have an Instagram account until recently. So
and
I'm living proof.
It isn't even the entire year of 2018 that you accumulated those 3 million plus views, huh?
It was it was only March to January, or March just to December. So how many months was that? So that is when I did the 3 million. And one of the posts that I did alone was 500,000.
Right.
So
And so if you were to sort of break down what you think is the successful formula for a LinkedIn video to attract views, to lead to maybe business opportunities or jobs, or, whatever your goals are in life that leading you to put video out there, would you say that there's a certain length of time for a video? Is there a certain amount of text that should go into the post? Are there some things that should or shouldn't go into the post? What would you say, if you were advising somebody on putting a video and the post with the video together, what are some do's and don'ts you'd recommend?
I think the number one thing, there's so many things that I like kind of have a list of, here's my top kind of get started list.
Right.
And the number one thing to think about for your LinkedIn profile, because you're going to create video, and the number one place they're going to go is to check out your profile. That's the easiest place for them to click. And what's going to happen if people use the word optimize your profile all the time. But what I like to say is make it a landing page, make it start from the top down your sales funnel. Because if you're an entrepreneur, if you're selling a book, if you want to get people to watch more of your YouTube videos, then from the top down, that's how you need to start driving traffic. So someone like Tim Schmoyer, he has now updated his cover image. I was like, okay, Tim, you've got to update. So from the top down, we see his social proof and we see who he is, and then we read his story, and then we find his top products that he wants to let the platform know. And I tell people, pick one or two. Don't try to tell them about everything that you are selling, everything you're pitching, all of your opt-ins or your downloadables or whatever you have. Just do two or one, and that's why when you make video, you may at the beginning, maybe you won't hit it out of the park. Maybe the community will see your video and they'll scroll past. So you do have to create something that is a bit of a scroll stopper. So the headline, it's almost like opening up a newspaper. What are you going to read?
Right.
You're going to read something with a catchy headline, not clickbait, but something that gets people to watch. And then I provide all the value in the text portion and in the video. Now, other people want people to watch the video. Right. I try to give you an option. If you want to just read my post, that's still value to me. So now, I do both.
Do you put any links in the post, or you never link out from the post?
One tip I've learned is to create a link in the comments below, and then there's a way to put that short bit link up too. And then that way, when they click on that link in your post, it drives them down. Or it's the same kind of concept as Instagram, put the link in the bio or link in your profile, and then just say, check out my profile for more details, which is a great way to continue to drive traffic to check out your profile.
And then they can watch your best video about your most important product on your, because that's what I'm hearing, is that no matter what your video strategy is, you want to get that most important video or video that focuses on who you are and what you have to offer or what your product is. You want to get that within your profile in one of those portfolio spots, right?
Yeah. Or you want them to go to your website. Or I know somebody who really is very clear on her ideal client. She has very clearly worked on her profile. I've helped her with it. And, we've created such an incredible call to action that she's getting the right people to click on her calendar. So she actually has a calendar link right there that people can book to do a discovery call with her. And she said it's working amazing, and she's not getting, a lot of people complain that they're getting spammed on the platform, or but I really believe that I'm not getting spammed, that a lot of my clients are starting to see that they're not getting spammed because they're getting very clear on what they want inbound. If people aren't confused, then they know exactly what you're looking for. And by doing that, you do say no to certain people, and you feel like you're limiting the conversation, but honestly, you're opening yourself up to the right opportunities that you actually want, and you're not wasting your time.
Right. Now, do you take any of your videos and publish them in LinkedIn articles where you do sort of the blog post thing? And if so, do you have to have a lot of text in there, or can it be kind of like what you would put in a post?
So turning your content into articles is a very good idea, because the articles will live on longer. They're more evergreen on the platform. And another good tip that I've seen is to create links to your videos. So maybe keep a list of them, and you can continue to drive traffic to your videos within your content. So for example, again, you're not sending them off platform, but you could make an article out of, and people do want some written portion of the article. I am not really picturing an article with just a video, but it's possible. I don't think I've seen it. But what you could do is just like YouTube, at the end, you have the option to put an end screen and send people to the next videos. It's not as fancy, but you can just say, here, check out these other videos I've recently filmed or uploaded. And so you're continuing to, instead of them getting to the bottom of your content, the bottom of your article, and they're like, great. Now they have a place to go next. Where do you get control of the conversation? Keep them with you longer.
And how long is there a certain amount of time that you think a good video is for uploaded video on LinkedIn?
So I've gone all the way up to 10 minutes.
Right.
I have pushed the envelope of 10 minutes, 9:59. I had to pull it back just a slight bit. And I've done a couple of those videos, and then I've repurposed them, and then I've, done a lot of stuff with those videos, which is incredible. But what I will say is I tell people that if you are completely unknown, if you have not done video on Facebook or Instagram and you're trying to get active on LinkedIn video, try to start short videos. Try to start less than a minute. You're going to build trust, because people don't want to feel like anyone's getting on and then wasting their time.
Right.
There's a certain energy on the platform that is excited about new video creators, and at the same time, you can lose an audience very quickly if you are not showing up in a way that provides value. If you just get on and, you know what I mean? It's got that balance. So if you're new, people don't know you anywhere else in the online space, then start short. Now other people show up and they have built an audience and can do longer videos.
Let them opt into some 1-minute videos first, and then as they get to like your content, they'll be open to maybe sitting through a 5 or 10-minute video.
Right. And when you first get on, you want people to comment, you want people to like, because once they do, their community is going to start to see it. Right. So the shorter you can get it, I'm working, Chelsea Pites is amazing, and she is uploading 15-second videos. And it is helping drive conversation, because it's not always about saying everything in the video. We get to see her personality, a little clip of it. It's just like watching a story, and she's building her audience and her trust, and she's starting to get a ton of engagement.
I'll have to take a look at those. That's really exciting.
She's one of my LinkedIn Like a Fox members.
Awesome. So you got LinkedIn Live. The fabulous, famous LinkedIn Live is rolling out slowly, but you're among the select few who do have it.
I just got it yesterday. If anyone was in my house, they would have been deaf because I screamed or something. I was like, LinkedIn Live. I got on my phone. I got LinkedIn Live.
So once the celebration dies down, have you thought about what kind of content you're going to do live on?
So one thing I've learned, and I don't know I just know that it's, I'm not really, what is it? I think you're discouraged from it's like meta. We don't talk about LinkedIn on LinkedIn Live.
Right.
So what I'm probably going to talk
talking about video on video, like we're doing.
We do it, right?
But it's different on LinkedIn, I think, than
I think they're encouraging
talking about YouTube on YouTube, right?
They're encouraging the launch of this to have other conversations other than being talking about the thing that we're on. It's just, they don't want that at the beginning. I can understand. So, what I'm talking about networking. I love networking, and I love sales. I love talking about just tips around sales and pricing and how do you do all these things. And I love talking about my just entrepreneurial learnings. What did I learn from being back on social media after 4 years off of social media? I have a whole crap ton of things I could talk about, because it's like going to a foreign country. Getting back on social media was you can see things that people who have been on it for 10, 20 years, they're like, oh, you forget about certain things. But when you go to another country, I used to live in Germany, actually, and I love that Alex is from Germany, and I used to live there. It's stuff that you don't think about, the light switch is on the outside of the room you're about to go in the bathroom. And I remember being my mind is like somebody can just turn them. I'm getting off topic, but sorry. I can obviously you can see. I can talk about anything on live.
Right.
That's a great example.
You've got a lot of options of what you could talk about on live video.
Talk about traveling, but coming back to a business perspective on traveling. I can talk about, because I've done business in probably almost every state, and Canada, Mexico, and Europe, and yeah, so
that's fantastic. So we are going to be on a live video panel together at Social Media Week Lima, so which is going to be a lot of fun. You can get your ticket at livestreamuniverse.com/SMWL19. Thanks so much for joining us. Great talking to you, Judi.
Yeah.